Why spend your hard-earned cash on a well-spec'd budget-friendly micro brand when you can get a bargain from one of the big boys? Hi Last Watchers, please excuse the head cold. At the beginning of the summer and with very little fanfare, Citizen released the Tsuyosa automatic lineup. Not one but 5 sub £300 sports watches in a range of colours that include black, green, blue, yellow and teal. Teal? Who are they kidding? As far as I can tell, the Tsuyosa, or Strength to give it its English translation, is selling like hotcakes, with the more flamboyant coloured dials currently out of stock pretty much everywhere. The relatively conservative black and blue are readily available. As I was desperate to get one of these elusive automatics on wrist, I contacted a pal of mine, Adam at Hillier Jewellers in Middlesbrough, and asked if he could source one for review. Now, to say that Adam pulled out all the stops is an understatement, as he sent me what might be considered the pick of the bunch. This is the Tsuyosa Automatic reference NJ0151-53M with the teal coloured dial. By no means should this be considered a Tiffany blue. If pressed, Citizen will call it a light blue coloured dial. Come on. Before I get started with the review, I just want to mention today's sponsor and supplier of today's watch, Hillier Jewellers. Hillier Jewellers are a family-run business based in the northeast of England, a bit more than a stone's throw from where I grew up. I've been doing business with Adam Hillier for a few years now, and he has proven himself time and time again to be friendly, professional and knowledgeable. If you're based in the UK and looking for a deal on a Citizen, Seiko, Tissot, Zodiac or a dozen other brands, then you may want to give Adam a call. He can even get you a deal on a diamond ring or some jewellery for the wife, which might keep her sweet if you've been splashing out on the watch front. I'll leave a link to Hillier Jewellers in the video description below. Citizen released the first of their MA series Tsuyosa watches in 2022 with 3 dial options that included, starting with my favourite, an all stainless steel with textured blue dial, a similarly spec'd sunburst turquoise and an extravagant gold PVD with red sunburst, not for me. Sadly, those watches were only available in Asia, but luckily for us, Citizen have decided to share the joy by releasing the new 2023 variants to a global market. I have no complaints. Well, maybe a couple. We'll get to that soon enough. Allowing a little leeway for my calipers, the Tsuyosa measures in at 40.2mm wide with a lug-to-lug length of only 45.1mm and a case thickness of 11.8mm, which doesn't include the date cyclops. Its integrated bracelet means you can ignore the rather thick lugs and 9mm lug width, as it has a rather comfortable 22mm bracelet. It has a total weight of 137.85 grams. Size for my 7-inch wrist and -5 links, it weighs in at a shade under 125 grams. The tonneau-shaped Genta inspired stainless steel midcase has a flat top face with vertical brushing that drops sharply with a pronounced lateral edge to the short lugs. The curved profile is polished with a defiant chamfered polished edge where it meets the brushed surface. I quite like that they kept a sharp edge along the shoulder to define the lugs. The case has near perfect symmetry, except for the addition of a minute unsigned crown at the 4 o'clock position. Using the crown is no easy matter. If you're a nail biter, and I know a few, then you might want to give this Tsuyosa a miss, as pulling the crown out to set the time and date might be an issue. To wind the crown, I've been using the side of my finger to start the movement, then let the automatic do its job. The case is topped with a well-defined contrasting round polished bezel and a flat sapphire crystal. Yes, you heard me right, a sapphire crystal on a £299 Citizen. There's no mineral crystal here, which I will appreciate greatly as the scratch on my Citizen diver still haunts me. There's a date magnifier, or cyclops if you prefer, at the 3 o'clock position, which is okay, but it does throw up a lot of reflections that can obscure the date window. Below the crystal is a light blue or teal sunburst dial that takes its overall design cues from the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, with a touch of the date just. It has single lume-filled applied baton markers for most of the hours, with doubles at the 6 and 12. there's a bevel-edged cutout date window at the 3 o'clock position that shows black Arabics on a white background. Around the perimeter of the dial are black indices to mark the minutes and seconds, but unlike the perpetual, the 5-minute markers are white and not black squares. Elsewhere on the dial, there's a printed black citizen below the 12 and an automatic above the 6. It's a very clean, minimal look, ideal for a dress piece, which allows that Tiffany blue, sunburst teal dial to shine through. The handset of the Tsuyosa are also lume-filled. They are contoured, polished pencils, topped with the slimmest of a stick-thin seconds hand. Citizen have their own proprietary lume, which they call Naturalite. Here it is compared to the Lumibright of the Seiko SRPE 51. The Seiko on the left clearly showing its diver DNA compared to the sporty newcomer on the right. The rear of the watch is fitted with a screw-in diver-style display caseback. Pretty sure this is mineral crystal, which is more than suffice to show off the gilt in-house Miyota 8210. The 8210 is Citizen's own version of the freely available Miyota 8215, and if you wanted proof, well, there it is for all to see on the Citizen signed rotor. The movement is an automatic 3-hander with date that hacks and handwinds. It is 21 joules with a 3 Hz beat rate of 21,600 an hour or 6 ticks a second. A power reserve of just over 40 hours and an accuracy rating of between -20 and +40 seconds per day. This particular movement is running at -6 seconds per day, which is pretty reasonable. The outer ring of the caseback informs us of the Tsuyosa's stainless steel construction, its sapphire glass, on the front at least, caliber number and even a serial number, and its water resistance of 5 bar or 50 meters, disappointing but not unexpected. The aforementioned integrated bracelet starts at 22mm before tapering to 18mm where it meets the 19.6mm double push button release Citizen signed clasp. The 3-link president-style bracelet starts with a steadfast centre end link that doesn't detract from the bracelet's articulation. The centre links are entirely polished, whereas the outer links are brushed with a polished outer edge. All the links appear to be solid, not folded, with push pins for resizing. The signed clasp is brushed with a polished outer edge, which has 3 holes for micro adjustment. The fold over deployment, like the clasp, is pressed metal. There is definitely room for improvement here. The Tsuyosa is a great looking, reasonably but not over-spec watch from a major brand that will have killed many a Kickstarter this year. It has a terrible, tiny, awkward to use pull-out crown with polished surfaces that are prone to smudges and scratches. It picked up a few abrasions just sitting on my desktop, and don't forget that mediocre pressed clasp. However, I can't get away from how good this looks on wrist, and it's comfortable too. It has a clean, easy to read dial, and the case and bracelet work well to hug my wrist. The sapphire crystal is a confidence booster for a daily wear. The added lume is a bonus, and I can live with the 50 meters of water resistance. Consider also that this is a sub £300 watch that even Citizen will give you a discount on, and it comes with a 5-year guarantee, 6 if you register it with the brand. The good more than outweigh the bad. The Tsuyosa is an absolute bargain that may well turn out to be one of the best watches of 2023. You'd be hard pressed to find a big brand rival at this price point. The Seiko SRP lineup, better known as the Dress KX, could be a contender as they are slightly more affordable, but they lack the Genta looks and sapphire crystal. The Tissot PRX nails the looks with possibly better build quality, but you'll pay more than double for the Swiss branding. Whatever your decision, Hilliers may be able to help you with the price. I was looking forward to getting hands-on with this Tsuyosa, and it hasn't disappointed. Given the choice, I would probably have played safe and reviewed the black or blue dial variants, much more suited to a man of my age. But the teal, okay, I give in, the Tiffany blue is gorgeous. A fantastic summer watch that may well be the jewel in the collection. It's plain to see why it's sold out almost everywhere. Get yours when you can. Citizen are well known for their eco divers and chronographs. It's easy to overlook what else they have to offer, such as their high-end caliber O100 and more recently the mid-range Series 8 collection. and I'm still tempted to pick up one of their JDM Silver Leaf Lacquer NBT60s. The entry-level Tsuyosa is a great introduction to the brand, and it will be interesting to see if they add to the lineup with more dial options and case sizes, which will no doubt help the collection go from strength to strength. Let me know if you're a fan of the Tsuyosa or Citizen in general. Do you like their Genta inspired automatic, or did they miss the boat with this one? Thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.